Hi there! Welcome to another exciting lesson on ExamPadi. Our topic today is plane shapes, part 1. And in this lesson, we will 1. Explore plane shapes. 2. Identify the properties of plane shapes. What are plane shapes? Plane shapes are two-dimensional figures that have a length and width, but no thickness. They are formed by joining curved or straight lines together. Some common examples of plane shapes include squares, rectangles, circles, triangles, and ovals. These shapes are also known as plane geometric figures or flat shapes. How then do we classify plane shapes? Plane shapes can be classified as regular and irregular shapes. Regular plane shapes have definite length and breadth and clear straight edges. Examples include squares and rectangles. Irregular plane shapes have indefinite length and breadth and their edges are crooked. An example of an irregular plane shape is the shape of leaves. Types of plane shapes. The first type of plane shapes we'll be looking at is the rectangle. What are the properties of rectangle? The properties of rectangle includes the following. 1. Opposite sides are equal and parallel. 2. It has an equal angle. Each angle is 90 degrees. 3. The diagonal lines are equal and bisect each other. And 4. It has two lines of symmetry. The second type of plane shapes we'll be looking at is a square. And the properties of square includes the following. 1. All sides are equal. 2. Opposite sides are equal and parallel. 3. All angles are equal. Each angle is 90 degrees. The diagonal lines bisect each other at the right angle, that is 90 degrees. And 4. It has 4 lines of symmetry. The third type of plane shape we'll be looking at is a trapezium. A trapezium is a quadrilateral having two opposite sides, parallel, while the others are not. The properties of trapezium includes the following. 1. The two opposite sides are parallel, while the other two are not. 2. The total angle in a trapezium is added up to 360 degrees. 3. It has no line of symmetry. The fourth type of plane shapes we'll be looking at is a parallelogram. A parallelogram is a four-sided plane shape, and the properties include 1. Opposite sides are equal. 2. Opposite sides are parallel. And 3. Opposite angles are equal. The fifth type of plane shape we'll be looking at is rhombus. A rhombus is a parallelogram with 4 equal sides. And the properties include 1. The diagonals of a rhombus bisect each other at right angles. 2. A rhombus has 2 lines of symmetry and it has rotational symmetry of order. The sixth type of plane shape we'll be looking at is a triangle. A triangle is a closed figure made up of 3 line segments. A triangle consists of 3 line segments and 3 angles. And the properties include 1. The sum of the angles in a triangle is 180 degrees, referred to as the angle sum property. 2. The sum of the length of any 2 sides of a triangle is greater than the length of the third side. Similarly, the difference between the lengths of any 2 sides of a triangle is less than the length of the third side. We have different types of triangles based on size, which includes 1. Equilateral triangle. This is a triangle having all 3 sides of equal length. Since all sides are equal, all angles are also equal. It has 3 lines of symmetry. 2. Isosceles triangle. A triangle having 2 sides of equal length is an isosceles triangle? The two angles opposite to the equal sides are equal, and it has one line of symmetry. 3. Scaling triangle. A triangle having three sides of different lengths is called a scaling triangle. A scaling triangle has no line of symmetry. Let's discuss types of triangles based on angles. The first one we'll be looking at is acute angled triangle. A triangle whose all angles are acute, that is small, is called an acute angled triangle or acute triangle. An acute angle, meaning small, is an angle smaller than a right angle. That is, it is less than 90 degrees. The second type of triangle based on angle we'll be looking at is obtuse triangle. A triangle whose one angle is obtuse is an obtuse angled triangle or obtuse triangle. That is, two sides of this are equal and it has one longer side. The next one is a right angle triangle. This is a triangle whose one angle is a right angle. The side opposite to the largest angle is the longest side of the triangle, and the side opposite to the smallest angle is the shortest side of the triangle. In the image displayed, angle B is the largest angle and the side opposite to it, known as hypotenuse, is the largest side of the triangle. The seventh type of plane shape we'll be looking at is a circle. The shape traced out in which every point of it is same distance from a fixed center point is called a circle. The circle has several important components. The outer boundary of the circle is known as the circumference, which is made up of a curved part called an arc. The radius is a straight line that connects the center of the circle to any point on the circumference. The diameter is the straight line that bisects the circle and divides it into two semicircles. Lastly, the chord is the line that separates the circle into two segments called the diameter. The line that divides the circle into two segments is called the chord. The 8 types of plane shapes we'll be looking at is a polygon. They are two-dimensional shapes that are formed by enclosed regions created by line segments. They have no thickness but possess two dimensions, length and width. The sides of a polygon are called line segments, while their endpoints are called vertices. Collectively, they are called vertices. Examples include octagon, pentagon, hexagon, and so on. You have come to the end of today's lesson. Here are a few questions to evaluate yourself. 1. How many lines of symmetry does a circle have? 2. Describe the following parts of a circle. A. Radius. B. Sector. C. Segment. D. Chord. And E. Diameter. 3. How many lines of symmetry does each of the following have? A. An equilateral triangle. And B. A scaling triangle. 4. List 3 fundamental properties of a rectangle and a square. And 5. State the differences between a kite and a rhombus. We'll pick up where we left off in part 2 of this lesson. See you soon and keep learning.